So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. I hope everyone is doing well, because I got a little bit excited today because I remembered. Well, it's not that I forgot, but I woke up this morning and I went, "Oh yeah, we still have Champions League to play this week, and we still have that BRUGGE game, and hopefully we can get the job done." And Paddy, you're heading over to it, or was I supposed to say that? Shit.
No, I am. Yeah.
I don't know. I was there. Damn, is his boss watching? Maybe he didn't book the day off. Maybe he's just going to go zero dark on the day.
No, I have to work a half day and I'm flying over in the afternoon. All right, and then I'm back on the red eye for a day's work on Thursday. So, yeah. Nervous, excited all at once, and little bit worried. But sure, that's just the Villa fan in me that has me a little bit concerned about what's ahead. But obviously, look, there's nothing like getting over to Villa Park and having a couple of points with your mates and seeing all the people that I don't get to see every week. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting into one of the locals and having a nice creamy pint of Guinness or Carling, whatever takes my fancy on the day.
It's going to be like, we're doing this preview here on Monday. I'll probably come back tomorrow after Unai does the press conference as well, just because I suppose the biggest question is going to be on everybody's lips at the press conference is are Martinez and Asensio going to be fit? And I presume they will be, judging by what Unai Emery has said. I'd imagine that they will be fit because they are two huge players. They were huge players in the first tie. They're going to be huge players in the second tie, and if they're not there, obviously it has a massive bearing on confidence levels, I suppose, for holding on to the two. I still think we're going to hold on to the lead and go through, but I want us to put out our best team so that we don't have that squeaky bum moment.
There'll always be a squeaky bum moment. We never do things easy. It's not in our nature to do things easy. So being 2-0 up is nearly a worry. But look, no, I expect us to put on a show on Wednesday night, and I hope Arne Slot is there to see the fireworks and whatever other spectacular the club are putting on for Champions League. And look, it's a huge opportunity to progress into the quarterfinal of European Cup. Like, it's just worlds apart. Like, I'm flooded with messages and pictures from today, because it was this day 6 years ago that Jack got the punch at St Andrews, and me and my good friend James Mann were at the game, and brought back many memories of what was that massive 10 wins in a row, which got us up in the into the playoff places and eventually promoted. And this season has a little bit of a feeling about that now. And, I know I've been burned before, but we're putting together a little bit of a run. I think if we can go and get through this game and then possibly win that FA Cup game, how good does this season look? Despite our league position, how good does this season look? I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to a break too, because we could badly do with getting a couple of players back up to speed, your Onanas, your Barclays, to give players just a little bit of a rest. And hopefully there's not too many of them going away on international duty and can get a bit of a break during this international break. But before all that, we have a small matter of a last 16 match to get through before we start planning for the rest of the season. So while we're excited, we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. But there's a huge carrot dangling there, a potential double-header against Liverpool or Paris, depending on how that goes. You'd have to think Liverpool will do it now after stifling them away from home, and managing to come away with a win there was absolutely amazing. So, and of course we'll know who our opponents will be before we play on Wednesday as well, because that match takes place tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, and to be honest with you, I think that's a big incentive, because I don't think it's as cut and dry that it's going to be Liverpool, even though Liverpool came out with that 1-0 win. You know, if they put in anywhere near like the performance they did away in Paris, I can't see PSG missing chances or not capitalizing on that. And I think that's going to be, you know, it would be nice for that one to go to extra time and penalties. Not that we don't play them for ages, but you know, that one could be a squeaky one as well, just like our one could be. But obviously, we've got a 2-goal lead. They've only got a 1-goal lead, and you know, I think that with all the reinforcements that have come back, specifically in defence, and specifically having Kamara back, you know, I think that we should be strong enough, you know, to go and to even hold on to a clean sheet and go for a 1-0 win or something along those lines, like we did at the weekend. And I don't think that there's going to be too much change to the team, provided that we don't have any injuries. I think Martin is going to play. I think he's going to play because, like, fucking play the game and then don't go with Argentina for 2 weeks to, you know, who pays your wages? That's essentially that I'd be putting that ultimatum to him, saying, look, you said you wanted to come here to Aston Villa. You said you wanted to win trophies with Aston Villa. Won loads of trophies with Argentina. If you're not there for 2 weeks with Argentina, it ain't going to really matter. You're going to waltz back into the team, and they're unlikely to lose any of those games, or at least, you know, they're unlikely to be under a barrage of shots that, you know, they don't need you in goals. But Villa need you this time. You know, we've let you go away. There was times where we let you go away and let you fly back, and, you know, you were getting back at 2 o'clock in the morning and playing games. And I know his father was sick and stuff like that, but, you know, that's I think if I was Unai Emery, I'd be pretty confident and comfortable in saying that, doing it to Emi Martinez.
Well, Neil, I hate to knock you off your soapbox, but there's absolutely zero chance he's coughing up an appearance against Uruguay and Brazil. So he's going to Argentina, whether you like it or not.
He's going to play in Brazil like every year. It's not exactly as if the qualification for the Copa America for World Cup is going to be anyway difficult for them. You know, they're going to get qualified, and, you know, it's just that would be.
They're almost already qualified, but Brazil are not qualified. They're in a bit of trouble, so he's going to want to go there and put a nail in their coffin. So I'm under no illusion that he'll be playing international football this month.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying, like, if he's holding out in this to go to Argentina, which I don't think the case is at all. You play this game, okay? If you're going to be fitting 4 days time to play with Argentina, you're going to play this game as well. So, you know, tough luck. And I think he will play. I'm obviously being facetious in what I say, you know, because I do think he's going to play. I'm not trying to cause any controversy or anything like that. I do think he is going to play, and I do think it's going to be huge, a huge lift for us if he does play. And as I say, just because, you know, whenever we do a team sheet tantrum and he's not in the team, immediately everybody goes to last. And sometimes they're right. And, you know, the weekend we were all wrong, I suppose, in thinking that. So I just don't want to have anyone in goals other than him when we're trying to protect the 2-goal lead. And I think we will protect that 2-goal lead. And to be honest with you, I think we'll do it in a professional manner, and we should do it in a professional manner. Be nice, like, Paddy, if you were over there, and it'd be nice if you're over there and we're 2 goals up after 7 minutes, like we were against Celtic. That'd be nice. For 11 minutes.
Nice, yeah. Look, we all know we want him to be between the sticks. He slows the game down when he needs to slow the game down. He invites the opposition on, and is much better with his feet for that playing the ball out from the back, as we saw Robin Olsen go long many times during the game at the weekend. And who knows, maybe we need that long ball this Wednesday to take the pressure off a little bit. But I'm in your camp anyway. I think he starts no matter what he's carrying. Left behind as a precaution. We don't know what the precaution was. Didn't mention the injury, or was it a sickness? We don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I think so, yeah. And I wonder, is Marco Asensio recovered from boxing the head off John McGinn, like was reported? This doesn't seem to be the case. I had a tweet written that said muscle fatigue. So Unai Emery came out and said Asensio has muscle fatigue. I goes, muscle fatigue from going 10 rounds with McGinn. And then the other one was something like Emi Martinez hamstring he was feeling his hamstring. And I goes, yeah, that's from twerking for Argentina. And I had it written out, and I went, no, I don't need to contribute to the discourse, because I don't know if that scrap ever happened. And if it did, it just doesn't bother me, because these things happen all the time. you know, and temper is fraying. There's pushing and shoving and stuff like that all the time. And sure, remember Martin O'Neill's contretemps with Nigel Reo-Coker as well back in the day. And yeah, look, we will never find out if that ever happened for sure. But I'm sure if Asensio is there, McGinn is in the team, and McGinn passed the ball to Asensio and he sticks it in the back of the net, it'll be the furthest thing from their minds anyway, if it ever did happen. But he would be another person, obviously, that you'd like to see in the team sheet roundup when it does come out, because look, he's been a goal machine since he's come here, and you know, players look like they enjoy playing with him, whether it's for the 20 minutes coming off the bench or whether he starts the game. So yeah, Marco Asensio, big player for Villa since he's come in, and hopefully he meets the standards of fitness and can be playing on Wednesday night as well. I don't expect anyone else to come back. Don't expect might be too might see Onana there because he's back out in grass as well.
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe he might be in the squad, but probably more than likely he'll be in the squad for Preston anyway. Like, and maybe you ease him back in. Philly D asks who are we guessing will be on the Tifo on Wednesday.
Do you know who I'd have on the Tifo on Wednesday? I would have Yuri Tielemans on the Tifo on Wednesday just to piss off the Bruges fans who booed him for 90 minutes.
Hercule Poirot or something like that. Go right to the bone with the Belgian fans. Put in something with Hercule Poirot or something like Tintin. That's it. Go after Tintin. Go after Tintin. That's what I say. No, I think the Tifo. I have no idea. Actually, we didn't see anything. Didn't see anything from Project. What is it? The 1890. Yeah, that's what you should have.
This one is a big shout. Dennis Mortimer lifting the cup. Yeah.
Why not?
Just a little reminder.
Yeah.
To the world, not just to Bruges, to the world.
Yeah. I was trying to think, because obviously we've had Ozzy Osbourne on it, but other famous fans like Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted's a Villa fan, Brendan Gleeson, the actor, is a Villa fan. Obviously you've got Prince William's a Villa fan. Tom Hanks. Who's that? Richie from there we go. There we have it. Richie from Five.
Prince William.
Yeah. I'm just trying.
We know he listens to Villa podcast now, so. Just keep on his good side and tell him we're putting in a show that he should be on it.
That was funny when Rhino's mother put up the video, or when he put up the video, and he said, I listened to two of them directly after the game, and you messaged me, you went, there's a 50% chance he listened to you, because ourselves and Karen Blue were the two podcasts on directly after. Yeah, that was it. Sorry, yeah, that was it. Yeah. So and we were in cranky form as well at the same time after that game. So probably not the best foot forward of England. Yeah, that's what you put in. Brendan Gleeson,
Brendan Gleeson in Bruges.
Yeah, he's a Villa fan. I think I mentioned it a moment ago, but he is a Villa fan as well.
Yeah.
So about all those cool Irish people being Villa fans.
I can't bring myself to call them anything else but Bruges. I just don't buy into changing into their native tongue to talk about. I know you were trying to get me to call Czech Republic. You were trying to get me to call Czech Republic something else during the Euros last year as well.
Czechia. That's and Turkey as well. Yeah. So there's a lot of countries have changed names. Yeah. The Czech Republic have changed their name to Czechia.
Well, nobody calls us the Republic of Ireland, so I don't give a shit what they want us to call them. There'll always be that in my vocabulary.
It's like when you rename Villa Park. It'll always be Villa Park. Jesus, we got really tangential there about the Tifo. But to be honest with you, as I said to Paddy before the game, I goes, sometimes the preview shows are very difficult to do because they come so thick and fast. You could almost rinse and repeat from the last show because there mightn't be any new injury news or anything like that, and we're just talking about form. And you know, when you win a game, sometimes the next one is Bundyaki. He's a Villa fan as well. Bundyaki's a Villa fan. That's another person. But yeah, when the games come so thick and fast, and specifically after a win, you know, you don't want to change the team in any way, shape, or form. You know, so the preview show can be a bit difficult to do the next time to come up with stuff to talk about. But I suppose, like, Bruges will probably be looking at their team, and like, that's the funny thing about this is they probably won't change anyone from their team because I bet you they're bloody delighted with the way they played and pissed off with the result that they got over in Belgium.
Sorry, you cut out of me there, so I don't know whether you're asking me a question or not.
No, I was saying about the Bruges team, you know, that the Bruges team, Bruges will be happy with their performance, but disappointed with the result because they played pretty well over in Belgium, you know, and obviously for the 10 minutes of mayhem at the end, they would have come away with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, and I'm sure coming to us, they would have been very, very happy with a 1-1 draw. At that stage, anything is possible. And look, anything still is possible if they can play to their best of their abilities. They will put us under savage pressure on Wednesday. So we need to be at the best we possibly can, and team selection is going to be huge. And I'm worried, anxious, excited to see what he's going to do, specifically around the right back position, and obviously goalkeeper as well. I think the rest of it kind of picks itself. I don't see any bolters coming in unless he does. Look, with the break coming up, I just can't see how he decides to rest anybody in this one, especially not the goalkeeper. So if he's anyway fit, he'll be playing.
Disasi will be right back, I'd imagine. Like, you know, so. Yeah. And this is my 180 that I kind of did before the Brentford game. I was like, I don't really know. I'm not too sure of him at right back. And then he goes out and he plays lights out and plays really well against Brentford. And I think that's, I think it would be smart to put him in there, because there's a couple of times where they crossed from deep, and the late runners of Van Aken, definitely Van Aken, trying to get in there at the back post. And he's some engine on him for somebody who's about 32 years of age or 33 years of age. He was all over the place. He was everywhere, playing that central attacking midfielder role. Maybe that's something that they look at. But then again, saying that, you know, when he brings Cash on at the weekend, Cash looked pretty decent. Cash was very good as well against Bruges. You know, when he comes out and wins that penalty and created probably and played with a bit more, how will I put it, a bit more natural width, I suppose, when he came on against Bruges, or when he played against Bruges. So maybe he goes back to that formula, but it would be tough to drop Disasi after his performance at the weekend. And,
absolutely,
you know, he looks like a real, as I said at the time, he looks like a real dressing room player. You know, he looked like a fella who was really pumped up, who was happy to be playing football and already bought in and ingratiated within that Aston Villa's dressing room as well. So, look, that will be an interesting one. But to be honest with you, I'm not one bit worried about who he plays there, whether it's Cash or whether it's Disasi, because I think both of them have shown in recent weeks, albeit Cash coming back from injury, that, you know, they have been affected. They have affected games when they've played. So more power to either of the two of them. Does he play both of them? As in play Cash further forward again, like he did against Brentford? To be honest with you, with Kamara coming back into form and with McGinn being there, unless he rests McGinn completely, which I don't think he's going to do for a Champions League, I think the bolter could be McGinn plays in that right midfield role. But then again, Bailey played there. Like, we've got numbers that can play there. Like, we've got 4 people that can play there. Like, Jesus, this time last year it was only Leon Bailey that could play there. Now we've really stocked the cupboards. Like,
yeah. And look, as you correctly say, Kamara's come back in there. I envisage he might start. We've also got Pau Torres. A lot of people worried about can Mings play the third game in a week. I think he'd be fine. I think Mings is fine. Does he rush Pau back in there or give him a few minutes or start him even? That's a possibility. Obviously, we don't have... It's just Malin, Onana, Barkley.
And Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as well with the 2 week break coming up, like, Mings ain't going anywhere with England. Like, you know, 2 week break, he's got his feet up. I think he plays. I think Mings plays and Torres comes on if needed. You know, but I think he's going to play. I think they play Tyrone Mings. So it was a ridiculous stat there. I think Stato had it during the week that of the 10 games that Mings has played this year, we've won 6, drawn 3. No, really? Was it 10? Sorry, of the 10 games, 1, 6, drawn 3, and lost that game against Bruges. Yeah, I think that's what I read today. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But
if we were Arsenal, we wouldn't have lost that game against Bruges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. You know, we would be able to pick up the ball. It would have been fine. It would have been 0-0 draw. One of the interesting things that I'm finding about, last year when we were looking at this Villa team, specifically at the start of last year, we were looking at this Villa team. Our average height, nearly every game we went into, our average height was lower than the other team. And it's just something to bear in mind as well. I suppose, obviously, with the Sassy being in there, Tyrone Mings being back, like Morgan Rogers is no small man either. He's like 6'3" or 6'2" or 3. Rashford is big. All that kind of stuff. Our height in the team has gone up, Paddy, and I have a theory behind that there's an optimal height for the way that for how teams are able to perform in Europe, and it's based on absolutely nothing other than, when you go down through some of the great teams that have won, obviously Barcelona being an outlier with Iniesta and Messi in there, and they've had some really, really, and Xavi, some small players in there, but in the main, having a taller team, obviously not too tall, but within a certain range, in and around 6 foot, most of our players in and around the 6'1" mark, you tend to have an athletic advantage, as the competition goes on. So I don't know. I'm just looking at it here. Villa have a taller team than Bruges, and when I've been looking at games this season, they seem to have had a taller team than a lot of other teams. So I've got this complete another hypothesis that there's an optimal height level as well. So I just said I'd bring that up because bringing the Sassy into the team kind of gives you that extra bit of height in there as well. And when we were going back and talking about that like there's only one real player that when I look at him on the team, it's, you're talking, it's probably McGinn is probably the smallest player in the team.
Maybe.
How tall is Konza? I will tell you right now. Konza is just over, he's 6 foot. He's 183 centimeters, but my metric conversion ain't great. So he's he's 6 foot. 6'6" and a half an inch. Yeah. So I think it's but people are saying here it's all Onana. No, well, what I'm looking at here is if you go into who scored and you check to see what their proposed team is in the preview section. So if I look at it here, Onana isn't in the first 11. So going on the first 11 they have here, McGinn, who they have at right, a right wing, I suppose, really. He would probably be the smallest, I would imagine, on the team, or maybe Luca Dean. So like, if you're talking everybody is over, Luca Dean is just under 6 foot, and McGinn is taller than Luca Dean. No, is he? Are they the same height? 178 centimeters. Yeah, they're both the same height at 178 centimeters. So they're about 5'10", or that way. So I don't know. I just, it's just something that's been kind of catching my eye every time we do previews. That we tend to have a taller team than most teams. I don't know why I brought that up, to be honest with you. I fuck all to back it up, but just seemed like something different to say on a preview show. That's really what it did, to be honest.
But I'll tell you why you're bringing it up, because these preview shows have become increasingly harder to find things to talk about. It is one of those situations where the team sheet tantrum is nearly where we do most of the talking and worrying and ranting about what's going to happen, because there's just no way of predicting. And look, it's great, when you had, even going back to Martin O'Neill, same team, same subs, Dean Smith, same team, same subs, Gerrard, same team, same subs, Unai Emery at the start, because we just didn't have the squad. And now we have an absolute monster of a squad, where we've got backup in nearly every position, albeit central midfield is a little light at the moment with the injuries. But hopefully we get through Wednesday unscathed, get the break under our belt, and come back with hopefully a full house heading into the final 9 games of the season, plus whatever cup games we have to contend with.
Absolutely, for sure. And like, that's the thing, you do a preview show today, could be all redundant come the team sheet tantrum, as we found out against Brentford. No one was expecting Martinez and Asensio, but that's the beauty of football. That's what keeps it interesting, and that's what that's what keeps people I suppose, looking forward to team sheets and stuff like that, and looking forward to the games themselves, because it's getting more and more unpredictable about when injuries strike, and sometimes injuries strike in in training session before, just before the game, and it keeps you on your toes for sure. It really does. It's a shame though, because I had tried to get a Club Brugge fan to come on today, but just couldn't make it work, and they were a bit worried because their English wasn't the best. And I said, "Come on, sure, our English isn't great either, so you'll fit right in with myself and Paddy." So it'd be absolutely fine. But we couldn't make it work. We couldn't make the times work because we were going at 9:30, which would have been 10:30 for him on the continent. So it didn't work out. But there's not to say that he mightn't pop on tomorrow. So when the press conference is out tomorrow, based on what Unai Emery comes up with, I might try and get the Bruges fan to come back on and see if we can do something during the day tomorrow as well. Are you traveling tomorrow? Oh no, you're not. You said you're traveling tomorrow? No,
Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday afternoon. Okay, right. Yeah. So you get over there just in time. So be grand. You'll be fine.
That's the plan.
Can't feel sorry for you, Paddy. Anyway, can't feel sorry for you when you're going over there. I really can't. So
I'm not looking you to feel sorry for me at all. Quick shout out to our buddy Chad, who's been feeling under the weather. I hope you're feeling fit and healthy before Wednesday, Chad. I know there's some plans for a table quiz coming up in the coming weeks, so watch this space. We'll be in touch, and we'll spread it all over our socials for you. But look after your health first and foremost, and we'll chat again in a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, we'll get well soon, Chad. And Michael Huggins says, "Did you guys see the? Oh, is that the one there? Oh, do you want to click in the Paddy?" I did see that, and do you know what happened? I went, "Oh Jesus Christ! I hope he isn't injured." Because he does suplex him, and he hits a fair wallop the small of his back against the ground. So I was like, Jesus, could you imagine if he tweaked his back after that celebration?
Well, having looked at some of the quality of the football in that game, I reckon they spent most of their time training doing that suplex and not actually kicking a football. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's we won't see. Let McGinn stick to his goggles celebration. Anyway, I'm much happier with that as it is.
Be nice to see one of them on Wednesday night, wouldn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And the cold, freezing cold, ice cold, whatever it is, celebration for Morgan Rogers as well. Let's get all the celebrations out. Let's have a celebratory atmosphere, and let's send all the fans home celebrating as well on Wednesday night, because big game, Villa Park, big night. Once again, Villa will know who they're playing, or Bruges will know who they're playing before that game. So a lot of media attention. If it is Liverpool, if it's Liverpool or PSG, regardless, lot of media attention on the day after will move to who their opponents are from that game. And let's hope that it is going to be Aston Villa, and we can, do the professional thing and hold on to our 2-0 lead going into the second leg. I don't have anything else to say.
Traditionally, they always say it's a difficult, a 2-goal lead is always the dangerous one. But it would be nice, as you said, to get an early goal like we did against Celtic. Just one will do me, because I think that one take the wind out of their sails. And look, we got a lot of luck in the last game, so we got to create our own luck this time, and we got to work hard. And I'm confident that we can get through to the next round. I'm not confident we go and win the match handily enough or anything, but I'm confident we'll do enough to get over the line.
Yeah. Anyway, we will be back, as I say. I might jump on tomorrow after the press conference, provided what Unai Emery says. And if I can get the Bruges fan, it would be absolutely brilliant. I just love to get their view on things as well, if I can make it happen. But if not, we will see you again for Team Sheet Tantrum on Wednesday. One little word to the wise for anybody: the Team Sheet Tantrum might be slightly delayed. It's just with 8 o'clock games. As I've said before, if I don't put one of the kids down, there's absolute World War III inside in the house, because one of them will go mad. Whichever one decides I'm the one who's putting them to bed, they will scream the place down for the whole night. So depending on what time I get that done, we might be a small bit late with the Team Sheet Tantrum. But
and I'll be in the Aston talking to the guy from Aberdeen, trying to get a spoiler on what's on the Tifo.
Exactly. Yeah. So Paddy's unavailable. So just bear with me. I've put up the team sheet tantrum for the regular time. I hope to make it for that time, but if I'm a small bit later, I'll let you guys know on socials as well. And we will be back with other schedules tomorrow. Are they? I know you go. Well, I'll definitely be able to do it tomorrow. So I'll have to change those to Wednesday, but we'll definitely be on for the post-match podcast anyway, directly after the game. So just a small bit of program notes there and production stuff that we'll go through afterwards. But bear with me if I'm a small bit late for the team sheet tantrum. Excellent. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. It's after 10 o'clock here in the school night, so going to let everybody mosey on back to their beds or whoever's bed you're going to tonight. And we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, but definitely on Wednesday. So in the meantime, everyone stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.